Welcome. We are about to step into a landscape where the map of the stars, the map of the earth, and the map of your own biology converge. What if the deepest occult secrets are not hidden in locked vaults or ancient temples, but written into the architecture of your own body and mirrored across the surface of the earth? What if the same principle that places the portal of life right next to the portal of death in human anatomy also places centers of power and destruction along the same invisible line around the planet? And what if a single force, operating through names, numbers, and long-term cultural engineering, has systematically absorbed the other gods into itself for over 2 millennia, creating a matrix that still shapes the consciousness of the modern world? Tonight, we are going to open 2 cabinets that most people never look into. One is the living map of the body. The other is a rare 1861 text that discloses the mechanism by which one deity became the God Eater. This is not theory for theory's sake. It is a practical decoding of how power is extracted, concentrated, and redirected, both inside you and outside you. A map for your own sovereignty. If you stay with me, you will leave with a clearer understanding of why certain places, certain numbers, and certain names keep reappearing, and more importantly, how to stop feeding the system that thrives on your unexamined intentions. Let's begin. Section 1. Occult Anatomy and the Twin Portals. The body is the original grimoire. Long before paper and ink, the secrets were carved in flesh and bone, waiting to be read. True architect did not leave the highest secrets in books. Those books are secondary reflections. The primary text is the human form itself. To know the body is to know the architecture of the divine. Look carefully at the lower region of the torso. The generative organs, the portal of life, sit immediately adjacent to the excretory organs, the portal of death, the cave of elimination. They are not distant. They are neighbors. This is not an accident of biology. In the language of occult anatomy, it is a deliberate demarcation. Life and death are not opposites separated by a great gulf. They interpenetrate. They share a boundary wall. Every time you create, something is also released or discarded. Every time something is discarded, space is made for new creation. The two functions are locked in a continuous, eternal exchange. An adept does not recoil from this proximity. The ordinary mind does. The ordinary mind wants life to be pure and death to be far away, preferably never spoken of. That fear is a trap. That fear is useful to systems of control because it keeps people from examining the full circuit of power. By fearing the cave of elimination, you lose sovereignty over your own energy generation. The same principle appears in higher mappings, planetary correspondences, Kabbalistic Sephiroth, chakra systems. All are legends placed over the same living map. When you study colon anatomy in the deeper sense, you study the energy zones. The mystery is this: you can choose moment by moment whether a given current of energy will serve generation or elimination. That choice is intention. The only lever that is truly yours in the matrix. Those who only fear death never learn how to use the cave. Those who only chase life never learn how to empty what must be emptied. Both remain incomplete, serving a circuit they do not understand. Section 2. The 33rd parallel and the foundations of power. Now expand the map. As above, so below. The body is the microcosm, the earth the macrocosm. The same polarity that appears in the body appears on the earth. Major power centers, ritual sites, and sites of catastrophic release repeatedly fall along or near the 33rd parallel, a grid of power and elimination. Why? Because the 33rd parallel functions as a foundational line of power. Ley lines, geomagnetic currents. Those who understand occult architecture build upon these foundations to draw abundance or defecate to extract. There is no neutral use of a power node. Intention determines the polarity. Freemasonry and related Western occult streams inherited and systematized this knowledge for centuries. The grid is their grimoire. George Washington was a Mason. The foundations of the United States are saturated with the same symbolic language. That is not conspiracy theater. It is the historical record of who worked the grid. They understood that the placement of stone and the alignment of streets could direct the flow of energy. Most people live on this grid without ever knowing it exists, feeding it with their attention. You do not always need to travel physically. As above, so below means the corresponding node exists inside you, but for those who are deeply stuck, the physical journey can serve as a tuning fork. The goal is restoration of your own capacity to generate or eliminate according to sovereign intention, rather than remaining in an abysmal state under the gods of the abyss. Reclaim your node. Section 3, the 1861 Secret Book of SOD and the God Eater. Now we open the second cabinet, the history of how divinity was stolen and renamed. The names listed are revealing: Jupiter, Jove, Zeus, Zan, Deus, Dios, Zadok, Baal. These are not separate deities in the final accounting of the God Eater. They are successive containers that one intelligence has consumed. The process is linguistic and magical. The God Eater does not merely defeat other gods, it assumes their names. Once the name is taken, the previous identity collapses into a subordinate mask for the Eater. Over roughly 2,500 years, this absorption has been patient and thorough. The Romans elevated Jupiter as chief. The same current appears in later monotheistic and dualistic formulations, consuming all. Dualism itself becomes a tool for usurping the entire pantheon. Two bulls exercising the negative traits of both. One primary force reigns by day and night, Alpha and Omega, the total claim. Chaldean magic is central here, the stream that produced the 7-day week and planetary correspondences. In that system, Jupiter is number 4. Its sigil encodes the systematic absorption. Its sigil and magic square are unique. The diagram itself encodes the absorption. Other planets are subordinated. Only one number, one primary current is allowed to remain dominant. The matrix core. Around the year 1000, Europe was plunged into collective expectation of the end of the world. Creativity stalled. Joy was suspended. 2 generations were required to reboot after the expected apocalypse failed. That is how thoroughly a prophetic narrative can seize the collective nervous system. This is not ancient history. The same pattern of name absorption and long cycle engineering continues today. Modern conflicts that appear to be between opposed gods or nations often resolve into factions of the same underlying current. The God Eater only needs you to keep using the names and numbers it claimed. The God Eater does not need you to believe in it. It only needs you to keep feeding the matrix with your attention and usage of the systems it has already claimed. It thrives on your unexamined intention. Section 4. Connecting the dots. Body, Earth, and Matrix. Now place the 2 teachings side by side. Everything you have seen is part of a single, grand architecture. In the body, the portal of life and the portal of death share a wall. Intention decides which function is emphasized. On the Earth, the 33rd parallel carries both generative constructions and catastrophic releases. In the historical magical layer, one intelligence has systematically absorbed the names and functions of the other gods, creating a matrix in which it claims both the daytime throne and the underworld. The common thread is the management of polarity and the control of naming. Most people remain asleep inside the program because they never examine their own generative and eliminative currents. Understanding is the opposite of that sleep. It is the direct recognition that the same architecture exists at every scale, and that your personal intention is the only lever that is truly, entirely yours. You can generate, you can eliminate, you can refuse to feed the absorption process by recovering the older, unclaimed currents that still exist beneath the overlaid names of the God Eater. This is not about joining another order or collecting more degrees. It is about restoring the house of your own power so that you are no longer an unconscious node in someone else's matrix. Stand sovereign. We have covered a great deal. The twin portals in the body, the 33rd parallel, and the foundations of power, the patient work of the God-Eater across centuries of names. Intention determines polarity. You do not need to master every detail tonight. You only need to begin noticing. Notice when you are generating and when you are eliminating in your own life. Notice which names you give energy to. Notice the places and the seasons that amplify or drain you. The system that has operated for so long relies on your inattention. Attention itself is already a form of intervention, a silent resistance. If this transmission has opened something in you, take it into silence. Walk with it. Let the body teach you what the books only point toward. The portals are already inside you. The line is under your feet. The names can be examined and released. We do not end. We regenerate. Know your unique alignment, or remain asleep in the program. The architecture is yours to command. The choice, as always, is yours. Thank you for watching Frequency XO Productions, and remember, never give up on yourself. Stand in your own frequency. Stay sovereign. Stay aware. We will meet again on the path of understanding. Subscribe to join the frequency and reclaim the map of your own soul. The choice is yours. Frequency XO Productions.